Joining me now is Tina Moore Gilbert, Managing Director of Advisory Services at MLT, Management Leadership for Tomorrow. Tina, so happy to have you here. I'm curious your thoughts, what you've been hearing. What's the biggest apprehension that employees have about returning to work?
Yes, great question to start it off. And first of all, Tiffany, thank you so much for having me on your show and having this platform and really providing a place for transparency and truth. When I think about what employees are mostly worried about, it is, in essence, retrofitting the things that have not been working well prior to the pandemic into this post-pandemic work environment. The flexibility and some of the experiences and the collective knowledge that we all gained during the pandemic, we hope to bring that knowledge back to the office and simply don't bring the same policies and practices that were causing really some marginalized people to feel the pain. And so we're really hoping that organizations are redesigning as a part of coming back to the office versus retrofitting.
I mean, because when you think about, Tina, what has happened the past couple of years since we've all been in the office, of course, there was the global pandemic, but there was also what some refer to as this racial reckoning, this cultural shift, as some have described it in the country. And so coming back in these environments when a lot of us have dealt with microaggressions and little slick comments from colleagues, whether they were intentional or not, and you saw people flourish sometimes being away from all of that. Something that you brought up, which is an interesting point, the commute for our people, our fellow countrymen in the API community, as we've seen violence spike against these folks. Talk, if you will, about how this has a disproportionate impact on the rising majority of this country and the rising majority of the workforce in this country.
Yeah, so when we talk about these issues, you're talking about physical safety, you're talking about mental safety, and you're talking about emotional safety. All those examples are ones that you raised, right? And so the physical safety is, there was actually a physical safety associated with staying home beyond COVID in terms of violence and threat, right? But there was also that ability to rebound faster for some of the smaller pains, right? It's one thing when you kind of get into a situation you might not feel comfortable and you have to go into a stale office room to kind of decompress, get your mind back to order. There's another thing when you can literally walk into your home kitchen and get your favorite mug and sit there and reflect on the moment. So that physical safety, both in terms of actually individuals moving and in the world and kind of interacting with others, but that emotional comfort and safety has also been something that's been interjected of how people have learned to survive and thrive in this work environment.
Yeah, I'll tell you, I am an in-the-office kind of person. I like being in the office. I like interacting with my colleagues and the great team here at the Cross Connection. But I know some of our team members, prefer being at home. And I think, some of those reasons are things that you've talked about as well. Something also that strikes me is our younger workers who are just entering the workforce at a time when the pandemic happened. So they have not really adjusted to some of the office politics that happen, some of the social norms and mores that happen within an office, some of the social skills from being in meetings that are not on a Zoom call. What impact has this had on them, do you think?
Great impact. So first of all, we've asked these individuals to not only succeed in school and graduate in a virtual environment, and now we're saying no, right? We basically turned their world into needing to adapt to a virtual environment. And now that they have done that and are coming out in the workforce, we're saying, forget all those skills, forget all those capabilities that you built up over the last 2 years. We want you to learn what we did 3-4 years ago when you were still in college and even some still in high school, right? And so we really need to think about, what is the workforce of the future really looking for? And if we ask them to thrive and succeed and build these new skills over the last 2 years, how can we take those skills that they have built, still providing the network, the exposures, the connections that are rooted in what makes long-term careers successful, and bring those two together in a different mindset?